Good morning. Welcome to the Thursday edition of your Breakfast on Leadership Television inside Nigeria. My name is Winifred Gobo. On this segment of the program today, we are going to be looking at just mainly the headline stories on some select newspapers, including Nigeria's most influential leadership. Let's see what leadership is leading with this Thursday, August 22, 2024. Leading story on this on leadership says 9 days after pressure mounts for rescue of 20 abducted medical students. 9 days after pressure mounts for rescue of 20 abducted medical students. CSOs now seek their safe return. Say security agencies not doing enough. Police comb Benue forest in search of victims. Families struggling to raise ransom. Of course, it is on the heels of earlier developments that the kidnappers were demanding 50 million naira ransom for the 20 abducted medical students. And the leadership also has picture of some of the medical students gracing the cover today. 3 of the 20 medical students of University of Jos and University of Maiduguri who were kidnapped in Benue State 9 days ago. We have Samson, Fabian, and Jita. 9 days after pressure mounts for rescue of 20 abducted medical students. From that main headline, we move to other stories on the cover. Contract fraud, Kano local government boards, PEMSEC, others arrested. Nigeria ranks its highest AI search interest in Africa, according to report. Federal government launches national single window to boost trade. Park and pay scheme illegal in FCT. And towards the masthead, we won't leave PDP for vampires. Damagun Wike fights back. We won't leave PDP for vampires. Damagun Wike fight back. The story concludes on page 4 of leadership. And on the business boss of leadership cover, we have more trouble as Chinese investor seizes Nigeria's houses in UK. More trouble as Chinese investor seizes Nigeria's houses in UK. Above the masthead, Kekerekun takes over as CJN today. Community mounts as bandits murder sacking Gobi. With that, we move to the page 3 where we have our stand. Today's editorial is on proposed student 80,000 electricity fee. Proposed student 80,000 naira electricity fee. The editorial today. Of course, there was a news report that returning students were asked to pay 80,000 naira for electricity bill, and that is what today's stand is all about. Today's editorial, proposed student 80,000 naira electricity fee. From our stand, we move to the back page where we have Being Blunt with Muazu Elize every Thursday. He's writing on needed a part-time legislature. Needed a part-time legislature. And with that, we conclude today's headlines review on leadership. For more, log on to www.leadership.ng. From leadership, we move over to the next paper we have on our menu, and that is Daily Sun. Daily Sun is on PDP's crisis. Wickedest PDP, I'm ready for war. Brans Wabara unfit for BOT chair post. I can't be intimidated, says party's acting national chairman. Of course, the same story is also on leadership headline story today. On Daily Sun, Wickedest PDP, I'm ready for war. Brans Wabara unfit for BOT chair post. I can't be intimidated, say party's acting national chairman. The main headline story today on Daily Sun. The second main headline story says ASU insists on strike, warns federal government stakeholders about disruption of academic calendar. ASU sacks senior staff for forgery corruption, may hand suspects to EFCC ICPC. ASU sacks six senior staff for forgery corruption, may hand suspects to EFCC ICPC. NAV airstrikes kill 5 terrorist commanders, 35 fighters in Borno official. Enugu demolishes kidnappers' houses, security agents kill 27 suspected abductors. Nigeria-US partner on AI for military operations. Federal government needs $100 billion yearly to achieve GDP of over $33,000, says Bagudu. Ondo women protest over hardship. The story runs on page 6 of Daily Sun. Uzodinma backs Michael Okpara Goods Governance Award gets accolades. And the last story on the cover of Daily Sun today says FCT authority dismantles Park and Pay, condemns 80%, 20% consultant versus federal government sharing formula. With that, we conclude review of front headline stories on Daily Sun. For more, log on to www.thesun.ng. From Daily Sun, we have The Punch next in our menu. The Punch has similar story, still on PDP crisis. PDP chair Wike tackle Clark as anti-Fubara plot thickens. PDP chair Wike tackles Clark as anti-Fubara plot thickens. Pro-Fubara Wike assemblies hold parallel sessions. Rumble in NWC over Rivers governor. I won't quit PDP, says Wike as Ikimi heads disciplinary panel on ex-governors' anti-party cases. Beneath that, we move to the other stories under it. Ganduje dissolves Benue APC ESCO as Elia Akumen feud deepens. Bandits kill abducted Sokoto monarch over unpaid ransom. Federal government working to avert impending ASU strike ministry. We have the picture of the Senate President Akpabio, President Rear Admiral Olotu, Senator Dike Plank and others during the inauguration of the National Defense College Officers Mess by the Senate President Akpabio in Abuja yesterday. With that, we move to the stories beside the masthead of the Punch. APC receives PDP Labour Party ADC defectors in Edo. Obaseki approves payment of local government pensioners' gratuities. The story runs on page 13 of the Punch. Obaseki approves payment of local government pensioners' gratuities. With that, we move to the ones above the masthead. Dangote refinery reduces crude import from US report. Government plans fresh $100 billion investment. Federal government hikes passport fees to 50,000 naira, 100,000 naira. With that, we conclude the review of front headline stories on the Punch newspaper. For more, log on to www.punchng.com. From the Punch, we move over to Vanguard. Vanguard is next on our menu. Vanguard is on petrol scarcity. And it says petrol scarcity worsens as marketers load at 780 naira per litre. Transport fares rise by over 200%. Transporters lament impact on businesses. Nigeria becoming failed state, Pengasan. I'll take that again. Petrol scarcity worsens as marketers load at 780 naira per litre. Transport fares rise by over 200%. Transporters lament impact on businesses. Nigeria becoming failed state, Pengasan. We have the picture of a special advisor on Africa to the US President Chris Fomoyu, former Vice President of Nigeria Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and Mr. Peter Obi at the National Democratic Institute International Leaders Forum / Democratic Convention in Chicago, USA yesterday. Beside that, fake certificate, Uganda, Kenya rights jam demand students verification. Federal government finally criminalizes vandalism of telecom facilities in new gazette. Nigeria made Dangote a colossal. It must now handle him wisely. That is the column by Olufason in Vanguard newspaper today, and the story runs on page 16. Nigeria made Dangote a colossal. It must now handle him wisely. And in sports, 2024 Paralympic Games, Sport Minister Dangote's 24 million naira cash reward for gold medalists. That takes us to the stories about the masthead of Vanguard. Food inflation reducing will reduce it further, Finance Minister. Hashtag end bad governance. CSOs berate federal government over prolonged detention of protesters without charges. Federal government increases international passport fees. Police invitation to Ajero. More critical unions give strike notices as US-based union petitions Nigerian embassy. With that, we also conclude the review of Vanguard Front headline stories. For more, log on to www.vanguardngr.com. From the Vanguard, we move to the last paper on our menu, and that is The Guardian. The Guardian says echoes of cabinet reshuffle, three ministers' performance a year after. Echoes of cabinet reshuffle, three ministers' performance a year after. Of course, we have caption by The Guardian underneath it. We have Abuja, and of course, you have somebody, the Abuja, the President Tinubu holding a saw to saw away at the cabinet building the nation. We have education, power, security, oil and gas, health, and corruption on top of it all. From that illustration, we move to the stories beneath it. Experts urge diplomacy as Chinese firm lists country's assets for sale. Nigeria to begin revocation of dormant oil well licenses. Nigeria to begin revocation of dormant oil well licenses. Wike Damagun defense standpoint as PDP Rivers crisis fester. Stakeholders set agenda for Kekere Ekun new CGN. Arabambi alleges plot by Ajero to spark civil unrest. Tough times ahead as subsidy shaves 7.7 trillion naira off FAC allocations. Tinubu has mortgaged Nigeria's future to family friends, says article. With that, we conclude today's review of the Guardian newspapers. For more, log on to www.guardian.ng. Also, with that, we come to the end of today's Inside Nigeria. Fortunately, my guest in the house is unavoidably absent. Hopefully, next week, Thursday, he'll be around to do justice to some trending stories. It's on this note, I say thank you so much for joining us on today's Inside Nigeria. My name is Winifred Ogogo. Don't forget to join us for news on the hour on this station.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last